Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and welcome to a very special video because tomorrow the new update for Forza Horizon 4 goes live, and the very first thing that I wanted to talk about is the completely free Mitsubishi car pack. Now, this is massive, it's huge, and I don't think anybody thought that they would be releasing a free Mitsubishi car pack, especially after all of those things that they said about how there's they tried to bring them back, but it didn't really go anywhere. But seemingly out of nowhere, they're pretty much all back. The Eclipse is back. The Evo 10 is back. All these other Evos are back. There's so many cool Mitsubishis. I'll put the actual list on the screen right now for you guys to take a look at, because it is a really exciting car pack and a really cool thing to actually have coming back into the series. Now, there are all sorts of other updates that are coming into Forza Horizon 4 with this latest update as well, and throughout the rest of this video, we're going to be talking about those as well. The Car Pass cars that are coming are the 2020 Porsche 992, the 2017 Ford Focus RS, the 68 Ford Mustang Fastback, which is the Bullet car, which will also have some Bullet-inspired pieces on it, as well as the 1965 Ford Transit van, followed by the Hillman Imp, that's a 1966, the 05 NSXR GT, two Hot Wheels cars, the Hot Wheels Rip Rod and the Hot Wheels Ford Mustang, as well as the 2017 Maserati Levante S, the 1967 Mercedes-Benz 280 SL, the 1929 Mercedes-Benz Super Sport Kurzbarker Roadster thing, I think that's how you pronounce it, the 1963 Opel Kadett A, and, of course, again, the 2019 Porsche Carrera S. Actually, it's funny because it says 2019, but I believe it's a 2020 model. I think it's a 2020 model. And then, followed up, last but not least, the 1993 Porsche 968 Turbo S. Very interesting oddball car. Next up, what we need to talk about is the new Horizon story, which is a new business called Isha's Taxis. Now, it's a very interesting, basically story in and of itself, because you start out with a basic London cab and end up, by the end, you're driving freaking a lifted, sounded like an LS V8, crazy off-road cab, and on the road you're driving a cab with a Ferrari F50 GT engine. So you've literally got, you start from nothing, like a normal average everyday London cab, to all the way up to these crazy modified versions of cabs. And you can, of course, do all sorts of different types of routes as you go throughout this story. I mean, you're not bound to the roads. You can take an off-road route if you desire to use one. It won't always be the fastest way, but it will sometimes be faster. And something that you will also have to do that's a little bit different in this mode is you will start out in your taxi, you'll have to go pick up your fare, and then when you actually get the fare to where you're going, you actually have to stop. You don't actually just blaze across the line and it stops the challenge. You actually have to pull up and stop, and then the challenge ends, which is a little bit different than a lot of the other point-to-point challenges that we've seen in Forza Horizon 4. And also, the Austin Taxi is the reward car for completing this Horizon story. So at the very end, you will be given the Austin Taxi, and the cool thing about that is if you haven't been able to unlock it yet via wheel spins, then this is your opportunity to unlock it right now. So, or well, as you guys will be seeing this, at the time you'll be seeing this, you'll be unlocking it tomorrow. But, well, if you are able to get through this entire thing in one day, which I'm not sure if you're able to do that, but we'll see. Now, I will be making videos on this, as well as, of course, the Mitsubishis and the Mitsubishi car pack, which we're about to kind of talk about a little bit more in depth. In multiple different ways. But this, I think, is going to be one of the more interesting Horizon stories. I think it's definitely more interesting than the last one that they released, which was cool, but I don't think it's quite as interesting as driving, crazy, 6, 7, 800, 900 horsepower London taxis that are wide body and you actually have to pick up fares. I think that's really cool. And the voiceover that they actually have, in the talks between you and, not necessarily talks between you and your passenger, but, the things that your passenger sometimes will actually tell you is actually really cool. And if you guys were actually able to watch the Reset Playground Games live stream, they showed some of the gameplay of this mode, and it was very, very interesting to watch, and I thought it was actually a really cool-looking mode that I couldn't wait to get my hands on. And I also do want to say, completely out of the context of this video, I do apologize if you guys hear a little bit of a beeping noise in the background. That the only reason for that is because my fire alarm is actually kind of freaking out right now. It basically, it said it did the little beep saying it was out of battery, and I changed the battery, and it's still beeping. So, I have somebody coming by to look at it. Anyways, moving back into Mitsubishi stuff. Now, the actual proper list of cars that are going to be included in this pack includes the 1992 Mitsubishi Galant VR4, the 1995 Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX, the 97 Mitsubishi GTO, the 99 Lancer Evo 6 GSR, 04 Evo 8 MR, 06 Evo 9 MR, and 08 Evo 10 GSR. So, there's your list of Mitsubishis, and honestly, I think for a free car pack, that's freaking 7 cars. And I know that they're cars that we've seen before, but for me, it's like welcoming home an old friend, because I remember having so much fun with these Evos back in previous games, and it was such a sad thing that they weren't here in Horizon 4, but bringing them forward into Horizon 4 has really, really, honestly, been such a cool thing, and the fact that they're bringing them forward like that is so freaking cool. I love that. I absolutely love the fact that they're bringing them back, and I can't wait to see what they do with this actual, with everything in this actual car pack in the future. And I can't wait to see what the community does with it, because I guarantee you, of course, there's going to be, a million Fast and Furious designs, right, on the Eclipse. I mean, that's just kind of a given. I mean, even on some of the Evos, there's going to be Fast and Furious designs, and that's just how it's going to go. I mean, that's how it always is. That's how it always has been. But it also, for people that like to reenact Fast and Furious, movie scenes and stuff like that, you've got your Eclipse now, you know what I mean? You've got your Eclipse, you can build, Brian's actual car if that's what you so desire, and I think it's really cool that we not only have that option, but that we have all the options of doing everything else too. And I think for the rally people and the off-road people, I mean, God, you can do the Evo versus Subaru stuff now. I mean, they even said that one of the seasonal championships that they're going to have has a very, very heavy focus on the whole Mitsubishi versus Subaru battle, and it's because it's a really cool battle with a ton of history. And considering the fact that it's been a battle that's been absent from Horizon 4 so far, I think that it's going to be really cool to see who uses a Subaru and who uses an Evo, and I feel like it'll definitely pit some friends against each other closely, and they're really, really tight battles, because these cars are very, very well matched in terms of off-road capability and dirt capability, and oh my God, the snow capability is going to be nuts. These things racing against each other in the snow, that is literally like that's like a painting right there. It's genuinely like a painting, and honestly, that's going to be one of the coolest sights to see in Forza Horizon 4. So, now in closing, I wanted to say that I think out of all the things on this list, I am most excited about Mitsubishi, but it's followed by a close second by Isha's Taxis, which I'm really, really excited about. I'm a lot more excited about that than I ever have been for any other Horizon story that they've ever had, because I'm really, really curious to see what that's like. They seem to have put a lot of personality into it, as they always do, but they also seem to have put a little bit more personality into this one than some of the ones that they've had before, and I love how there's going to be, banter, not necessarily between you and your passenger, but, there's going to be an actual, comedic approach from the passenger, just kind of either talking to you or maybe yelling at you or whatever, whatever the case may be. I think it's going to be a really fun thing to play through. Now, they also said that you can put a crazy V8 racing engine in that old 60s Transit, and that thing is going to be stupid. I wonder if it's going to be able to be all-wheel drive. Part of me is like, I wonder. But even if you can only have it as rear-wheel drive, that still means you can have a crazy, badass drift build. And some of the Car Pass cars, I mean, I know obviously, the Fastback, the Bullet car, that's going to be a big deal. I know there's going to be a lot of, of course, the design shop is going to go crazy with that. The new 911 is really cool that's actually going to be brought forward. I mean, they teased the new 911 anyway, the 992, in some of their Twitter and Facebook posts earlier on this past week. And that's going to be a cool car to drive, I think. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily a massive highlight. I think a lot of people are going to spend a lot more time in the Mitsubishis, again, because the Mitsubishis are kind of the big deal here, right? Because everything was so, everybody was so adamant that it was no, they're not coming back. But But when I said, and I'm not saying, like, oh, I said and they said and blah, 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 blah. What I am saying is when I said, be patient, when I said be patient, there may be something more going on here. And they did say, this could be an indication of things to come in that stream where they were spotted and I made a video about it. It seems like that's come, that may have come full circle. And I said, be patient. You never know what might happen. And boom, we got Mitsubishi. So who knows? What might that mean for Toyota? We'll have to see. But I am going to say this, because at the end of the video, and at the end of the day, really, the new Supra has just been revealed, and the ball's in your court, Toyota. What are you going to do? There's a lot of people that want your cars back. So, hope you all enjoyed this video going over all the new features. And I didn't even touch on some of them, but like there are some features that still have yet to come, but I figured those would be better to actually show you guys in the game tomorrow once the update releases. But again, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to click that like button. Tell me in the comments below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time.